Hello, and thank you all for coming out to the Goddess Tosa Show. I'm your host, Queen Tosa, and this is the Goddess Tosa Show. Tonight
Toast
we
Show.
are
I'm your host, Queen
going
Tosa,
to
and this is the Goddess Tosa.
we are going to be reviewing the Real Housewives of Atlanta. If you have not watched, child, we about to get up into it. We'll be right back.
Hello and welcome. Thank you for tuning in to Goddess Tulsa After Dark. This is where you let your hair down, get you a beverage, prop your feet up or down. Now it's time to hit the like. Are you subscribed? Don't forget to hit that cash app because it's After Dark with the Goddess.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. So, tonight we are definitely going to check out some content. The Real Housewives of Atlanta, child. They came on yesterday. I really enjoyed the season. It was pretty cute, but there's a lot that's coming out now. We know that this episode was, I guess, dedicated to Sheree. With her She by Sheree, her joggers, and all of the good stuff. But when they first had come on, well, first of all, let me stop being rude. Um, to I want to thank you all for coming out. If you're a new subscriber, thank you for subscribing. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for returning. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Please tell a friend, tell a friend, to tell a friend. Okay? Now, right back into the tea. We have Marlo. Okay. Oh no, that's not Marlo. Where is Marlo's photo? Okay, so we have Marlo. Actually, Marlo is right here. About to drop it like it's hot. It was definitely giving Nene vibes. Um, we all know Nene definitely loves a good old blonde with those roots. So I'm not sure she went by Nene's website and picked out a number for the show or whatever, but it's definitely giving Nene. And I love it. So Marlo, when it first comes on, the show is pretty much, Marlo, her nephews had come back home. And so, she's pretty much welcoming them back home. And so she takes them over to Stania's house. Stania and Marlo was talking on FaceTime about, Stania being active and the kids, seeing what they could do, being a village and doing what they could do for Marlo being, somewhat of a single mumty and raising the babies, raising the nephews. Hey, Sonya, you back? All right. So Michael changed the tire. William changed the oil. And shout out to Stania's husband, honey, Mr. Ross, honey. Oh yes, honey. He know how to change a tire, change oil. He's a manly man. And Sonya's working on a baby with Rothschild. She got her IUD test. We have Sheree. So let's bring up Sheree. Okay, so now we have Sheree. So Sheree is pretty much, she's got the She by Sheree. She's got her fur bags, her fashion, the black and brown. I was definitely feeling that look. Her in that black and brown, she had come in with her fur coat on, and oh my God, mother was looking very, very fresh. And so, she gets to talking about, her venue being booked, and then they got on the clothes. And so when they got to the clothes, she said that 5 pieces were available. Oh, child. And so everybody's kind of like in an uproar because, 14 years ago, Sheree was supposed to have come out with this line. And so it had to be postponed due to unfortunate circumstances. Okay. And so, she pretty much said she don't know how many items that she was gonna get. And pretty much she joked about, they are gonna, if this doesn't happen, just bury She by Sheree. Fashion show, not fashions, And so they had a clip of Dwight coming up. And when he was, pretty much doing shade at Sheree about her fashion, how you gonna have a fashion show without no fashions? Okay. So Sheree did say that she was still embarrassed, It's like, I mean, but that was a lot, that was a lot. Sheree, she juggles a lot, and Sheree has this mystery to her. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all think Martell is, let me stop. Yeah, she said that her website had crashed, child. Yes. So peep this. Marlo flies her mom out to come visit her at her, to come and visit and chill with her. And I thought that was a good deal, her mom is from West Memphis, Arkansas. Okay. I got people in Arkansas. Come on now. Okay, so her mom gets there and she arrives and she asks her mom, like, where's your teeth? And so her mom is like, oh, you gonna be mad at me, but I threw them away. And so Marlo's like, oh my God, you threw $5,000 away? And so her mom was like, yeah, it was an accident. And so, you know, so then it goes back to the car ride. Um, so Marlo and her mom, she pretty much got introduced at that moment. So then they move on over to another, little moment. You know how they have camera time? So they pass the camera over to the car ride with Blaze and Candy. And so, Blaze is in there singing or whatever and whatever. So Pastor Jeanette, Drew's mom, child, that woman, she be having these little looks that be sending me. Like, that woman is funny. No, that wasn't the picture. But I don't know. I thought I had it, but that lady is very funny to me. She be having these facial expressions that just sends me. Now, Kenya gets amazing news. CVS um, is providing her product or showcasing to where she can sell her product in over 5,000 stores, so CVS, so you can definitely get your product from CVS. Shout out to Kenya Moore Hair Care. I'm definitely a supporter of the hair care, baby. I've got mine. Okay. I love it. It smells good. It is amazing. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to wash my hair tonight with Kenya Moore Hair Care. Okay. So Marlo schools the boys when they arrive at Sanya's, be respectful, use your manners, the typical, we're about to go over to, some friend's house, so be on your best behavior. Okay, so Sanya and Ralph, did I call him Ralph or Ross? I think his name is Ross. Or I don't I get the R's mixed up because Ross and Ralph, they are both, they will both steal your brain cells out of your head, with their when you look at them. You know what I mean? Okay, so Marlo supposed to be cooking and she's ordering food. So Sanya had invited her over. She said the boys can go out there with Ralph. They can do their guy, the guy thing. Let them, let the men be men. Let's let them have their moment. And so Marlo is really working for that peach. She is getting Candy's time. She's pretty much getting everybody's time. When she pulled out that phone and ordered food, I said, okay, she's definitely giving a Candy moment. Okay. Now let's fast forward. Marlo's mom, she had a drug and alcohol problem. And so Marlo brings it up as they're driving in the car, and she's having this conversation with Sanya, as she's at staying this house. And so, she's bringing it up, the drugs and the alcohol. And so, what I thought that was so unique and so sweet, Ross had matching mechanic jumpers with the guys, with the Marlowe's nephews. I thought that that was very cool. A souvenir. It's. I noticed that Ross and Sanya likes to give gifts, and I love that. So it was some memorabilia. So now we're back to Marlo and her mom shopping spree. So they're out there. I don't know if they're like at an antique store or a thrift store, but they're out. Honey, Marlo's mama is a fashionista, honey. She has style. I mean, mother went in there, she put on her hat, put her purse, had her scarf, and really did it with those colors. I mean, she made it look good, easy, and cost efficient. Okay. So shout out to the cost efficient ladies and the budget shoppers. Okay. Kenya finally makes it to her day. It's her day where she cuts the ribbon. She's at CVS. Candy, Sanya, and Drew showed up, and they had all come to support her. Like I said, Kenya, cut her ribbon. And so, of course, they jumped on the subject. Are you ready for the She by Sheree fashion show? And so, of course, they went into the numbers and how much items that she has. So it went from 15 to 5 to 3 to I don't know, to this to that. And so Drew found a way to sneak in the fact that Sheree still owes her money for Sanya's surprise party. And Drew still, she's feeling a way about that. And that's $800 to be exact, because they were supposed to go in on that party, that surprise party. Okay, so now we get over to Candy. So Candy meets Mama Joy's child for a meeting. For a meeting. And listen, before we get into Mama's Joyce, let me go ahead and check our likes. We are at 4 likes and we have 8 people in the building. Let's go ahead and take a commercial break, and hopefully the other 4 can go ahead and give us that beautiful, lovely like. Help support the channel. We have 11 million people in here. We have 4 likes. Please hit the like button. We're going to go on a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
Hello and welcome. Thank you for tuning in to Goddess Tulsa After Dark. This is where you let your hair down, get you a beverage, prop your feet up or down. Now it's time to hit the like. Are you subscribed? Don't forget to hit that cash app, because it's After Dark with a Goddess.
This is purely a journalistic point of view. Nothing more has been said in this video other than that of which has been reported by various media sources and backed up with sources seen at the end of this video.
All right, so now that we've got that out of the way, let's go ahead and do some housekeeping. We definitely have our head mod in the building, Sonya Mabia. Make sure you are following her. And we have Associate Minister and Reserve Deacon, Mr. Terry Jones, has showed up to the party. Thank you so much, Mr. Jones, Mr. Terry Jones, for swinging by. Make sure you all follow his channel as well. That brother is very anointed. Also, we have Sonya says, hit the like button. Thanks. It helps support the sister over here. Okay, Mr. Jones says, please hit the like button. It really helps the channel and get a positive rating with the YouTube algorithm. It also helps this channel's videos to be exposed to more non-subscribers. And then we have LaRon pulling up in his Bentley. He says, y'all, that last live really was me. I was having a mental trigger with that damn technology. Oh my goodness. Listen, I'm so glad that you are here. And I'm so glad that we were able to help. I'm going to cover a few more points and then I'm going to drop the link so you guys can come up and sound off. Because you know, that's what we are here for. We're here to have engagement, we're here to have fun. Um, so let's get right into it. So, where I left off was Candy meets Mama Joyce at a restaurant, right? And so, y'all, oh my God, I believe like this was the highlight of the show. I feel like we need to see more of Mama Joyce. Candy, okay, so there's a conversation, the trust before your marriage. Mama Joyce says the trust before your marriage should go to Riley. She was the first child before any. And then she also says they have a father. And I felt her on that because if we really think about it, Block was not a part of Riley's life. Block is misspell curse words, please. Thanks. Yes, let's please misspell those curse words. But Block, you know, he wasn't in Riley's life. And so I felt Mama Joyce when she said, you know, well, leave, you know, take care of, make sure Riley isn't put in a position to where she has to go head up with this man about some finances. And which is respectful and which is right on point because if we want to go back, they had a clip where they were, you know, in the living room or at the table and they had invited the girls. I believe they were in the living room and they had a conversation with the girls about, you know, the trust. And, you know, the girls felt like Todd would be a problem if Candy was to go to Glory. You know what I mean? If Candy was to go to Glory, it would be a problem with them getting money. And we do have LaRon Hill in here. Let's go ahead and follow his channel as well. One of our brothers that support, he is definitely an ally. All right, so moving right along. So Mama Joy says, you're leave. So, you know, pretty much she was just saying, you know, Candy, if you, you know, go to Glory, you setting someone else up to take over what you have. You know, your house, your this, your that. You know, and so I think that these are real, rational, reasonable concerns. Concerns. Because, you know, whether if you have a prenup or not, I really don't know how theirs went and how it's going. But I believe, you know, once you're married and you start accumulating things and time passes by, you know, I mean, hey, the numbers go up. The numbers go up. And we all know that Candy is a workaholic, in which I'm all for it. Be a workaholic, do your thing, get your money, do your thing. But listen to your mama. And so Mama Joyce goes on to say that, she would go on and he left the house, you know, talking about the things that he would do, such as, you know, the hanky pank in the bed at the house. The hanky pank in the house, in their bed. And see, this is the thing. Kid Todd, this was at the beginning of the show, and this was like a kind of a back and forth. You know, Todd had an apartment that he shared with an ex or something like that in New Jersey, and then he said, Candy went complaining about that. Todd says, "Well, you haven't changed the mattress since your exes." So pretty much, he's saying, you forced me to lay on this dirty mattress where y'all been going the hanky pank up in. You know what I mean? And so like I said, it goes back to Mama Joyce. I see where she's coming from. I see where she's coming from. You know, Candy And this is my thing. Candy and her mom was going back and forth, and pretty much, you know, her mom was pretty much like, you need to rethink your affairs. Because really, at the end of the day, Riley I don't think Riley would leave her grandmother out in the cold. I don't think that Riley would, be selfishly, um, I don't think that she would be, I don't think that she would be a bad guardian. I don't think that she would. And that's just my personal opinion. Mama Joyce was disrespectful. Oh no, you didn't. Listen. Listen. So I believe, okay, so if anything was to happen to Candy, Don Juan would, pretty much handle things. And so Mama Joyce has something else to say about that. And she said, well, somebody else needs to be there. And Candy says, who? She says, Don Juan and me. Can you blame Mama Joyce? Can you blame Mama Joyce? Listen, being in Mama Joyce's position, knowing her and Todd's history, do you think that if Candy went to glory, Lord forbid, whenever, that Todd and Mama Joyce will be kicking it like two peas in a pod? Ask yourself that, y'all. Now, y'all really think that they need jobs and not depend on Candy money? She gave zero about Todd's kids. Well, see, I don't think that that was the case because they had already had things set up. I think that she was more concerned with Riley. And this is my thing. When they all had that sit down in that living room, and even Todd's daughter spoke up and said, he gonna be a problem if you was to leave everything to him, and we gotta ask. Like, Candy is more freely of, okay, they're gonna be getting crumbs dealing with this man. They get a slice of cake and a glass of milk and utensils and napkins with Candy. Okay, I'm calling it how it is. Yes, I am. So, and then this was the question. Candy asked Mama Joyce if she would be nice. I think we all know the answer to that. Mama Joyce and Todd, see, it was a scheme that Todd set up that had them to come to you with the bullshit. With the bullshit. Okay? Sonya says Riley not a kid anymore. Exactly. Riley is not a kid anymore. I feel like Riley is very mature for her age. I feel like Riley has experience as a parent. Let's talk about it. Remember those episodes a few back where Riley was like, well, why do y'all want to have more kids and y'all don't even stay at home with Ace? Or y'all not even taking care of him. I think Riley has gotten enough parenting from the nanny. It was a tutorial, it was a training. Riley got a personal training from that nanny. Candy is worth 30 million with continuous residuals. What's T? Candy may have all of that, but what Candy don't have is, oh, girl, that's a good question. I ain't never been caught up like that. What do she not have? I mean, she's got makeup lines, she got sex lines, she got this, she got that. But she don't have the time. That's it. She doesn't have the time for those kids. She doesn't have the time for those kids. And Riley has expressed that. Now, what's T? Evolution says it's enough. Todd has money also. Yeah, he does have money also. But you have to understand this. Let's look at this economy. Let's look at what's going on now. He has money. I get that. But when it comes to the kids, and he's in charge, y'all already know that man had short man syndrome allegedly. Like, and that's not even being, shady. Now listen, She by Sheree arrives. She's happy with her event space. And child, are y'all ready? Let's go ahead and check these likes to see where we are as far as our likes. See if we can proceed and give you what you need. Okay. All right, we have 9 likes. We have 11 watching, or now we have 10 watching. Please give us that beautiful like. We're going to take a quick commercial and we will be right back.
Hello and welcome. Thank you for tuning in to Goddess Tulsa After Dark. This is where you let your hair down. Get you a beverage. Prop your feet up or down. Now it's time to hit the like. Are you subscribed? Don't forget to hit that cash app because it's After Dark with Goddess.
Oh, shit. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Do some more housekeeping. We have Evolution 101 in the building. We have LeBron. We have Sonia. And we have Mr. Terry. And shout out to everyone in the bushes. All right. So, She by Sheree arrives. She's happy with the event, child. Duh. She was happy with the events. Like, girl, I don't know why. I don't know why that didn't come up, but guess what? We'll pull that up in just a moment. But listen, okay, so Sheree arrives. And one thing I can say about Sheree is Sheree has been giving you looks this season, my love. Sheree has definitely been giving you the looks. I'm here for it. I love Sheree. Sheree is definitely that girl. Okay, Sheree is definitely that girl. Let's see. Miss Sheree. Absolutely. Okay. So her venue, her event space was, I want to say it was a T. Like, just looking at the venue and getting that first look into what it was going to be like, I was actually surprised at how it turned out. Like, it didn't look like it was about 200 people in there, but it was. And so pretty much the the pre-show or the pre-test, the young lady that was helping Sheree with the fashion show, she said about 15 to 16 minutes is usually a runway fashion show. She said anything else is, pretty much pretty much like a promo, or it wasn't a fashion show. Let's just say that. Okay, so Apollo shows up, honey. He showed up. Yeah, he showed up or whatever. Y'all see him. So Apollo shows up, he compliments Sheree, give her a hug, and she lets him know that I guess she has 5 pieces on hand, and he's just ready to go on to the bed. So then Tyrone shows up, child, to the fashion show. To the fashion show. How you gonna come have models and not me here, is what he said. And so, Sheree told Tyrone cousin about her fashion show. And so Sheree was acting like, oh my God, how did he know I was here? Like, girl, you already know. Like, we already know. If we want to get to somebody, we're going to call somebody close to them and be like, hey, I'm having this situation, bring some friends. This is where it's at, come through or whatever. and you know that person is going to tell your ex or whoever the case may be, right? That face got something fine. That face got some fine tuning. It was tight, and I'm living. Yes, honey. Okay. You talking about the white? Kenya's dress was a bop, $20 on Sheen. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yes. You know what? Dwight was there as well. And Charlie said he was ready to go. So Sheree was wondering, why was Tyrone there? Tyrone in his Burberry. Okay. And Apollo says Tyrone is on some bullshit. Okay. He just calls him out. He was like, he on some bullshit. But they dapped each other up. They said hello because they were cellmates, or they were in the joint together. Uh-huh. They were in a joint together. So Tyrone wanted his moment pretty much. So Tyrone wanted his moment, paid before, no apology granted. Okay, so now we are over to Marlo. Mother arrives. Marlo invites Candy to come by with her mom. And so they had the archive child. She treated her family. You know, her mom says, Marlo, don't come around. Uh, Christmas, Marlo said, I never miss a gift on Christmas. Her mom said, that's not the point. And I feel like, yeah, that is not the point because the gifts are great. Don't get me wrong. But it's the time, people. It's the time. It's the time that you get to spend with your loved ones that really matter because guess what? When you don't have those loved ones, you still have those, gifts. You don't have that loved one. So I understand where her mom was coming from. Now, Marlo mom um, went to asking Marlo if she could bring her man to her house. And so that sent Marlo off. So Marlo mom apologizes and agreed not to have her man come to her house or whatever. Okay, so Candy arrives, they have a heart to heart. It's like the conversations, we've heard a lot about you and we want to get to know you and so on and so forth. So now we are moving on over to Sheree. So she has 24 looks. She's got 3 extras. So that was a total of 27 pieces for her fashion show. She went discussing on what was going on, the run through, and then old girl on the runway fell. So child, yeah, it was a lot going on. Okay, so the day of the fashion show. So Marlo arrives, all the girls arrive, cool, cool, cool. Everybody's there. And Marlo decides to let the ladies know that Tyrone was in the house. Word on the street, he has been in town. And I'm not saying that he did. I'm not saying that he did, but she was alleging that, he was knocking the boots with Sheree. Okay. But what's wrong with that? Sheree needed her boots knocked. Okay. And so, listen, Lyrone brought flowers for Miss Thelma, for Sheree. And oh my God, it was different. It was amazing and it was different. But what I do want to say is, child, when Sheree's mom saw Lyrone or Tyrone, it was given, you know, it was given that Miss Sheree haven't been honest with her mom. It was given like, girl, what is going on here? Who is this man? And it was like her mom was trying to force her to remember who Lyrone was, and mother wasn't going for it. Mother was not going for it. She said prison bay. Now, for your mother to recognize a man by the name Prison Bay, what does I mean? She says Prison Bay. I'm like, oh my god. Tyrone as Prison Bay. All right. So, like I said, Tyrone brought Sheree flowers, brought her mom flowers. And so, let's just say this much like Kenya went on to say, well, much like his prison sentence, um, his time is up. Pretty much like it was time for him to go. It was just not giving what it needs to give. And so I cannot let this live go by without showing y'all this. So when she finally met Lyrone, girl, that's what it was given. Mother Thelma said, what? Huh? What? She said, do what? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That's him. That's him. That's him. Oh, yes. That is him, Thelma. All right. So Peter shows up high as a kite. Marlo and Candy. Um, musical. Let's see. Musical chairs. How long before we see the show? So Candy and Marlo decided to play musical chairs. And, pretty much Candy was saying, well, how long is it before the show? And then, of course, we have the prayer, the memorable, and then we have Drew showed up as Phaedra. Now, listen, y'all, get into Drew's look. Apollo was there. This look was pretty much given Phaedra. Let's not forget, Phaedra gave us that look with that black dress, the blonde hair. You know what I'm saying? And did Drew try to steal her look? Because it wasn't. Well, I don't know. Drew is a little bit more curvier than Phaedra. Drew is a little bit more curvier than Phaedra. Let's say that. Oh, who is this? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hey,
Hey, who's this?
who's live?
Hey, Hill Life, I'm on live.
Okay, I'll call you live.
You on my live? You on my live?
I'm gonna hang up and then I'll go on your live.
Okay, hang up and then come up because I'm about to drop the link.
Okay,
Okay,
drop
baby.
it.
Dropping it like it's hot. Dropping it like it's Phaedra. Listen, does this look okay? So listen, y'all. Let me take this off. This okay, hold on. Let me where is the okay. Oh, okay. This is where it is. Okay, so y'all can't tell me. Was Drew's look given Phaedra? Was Drew's look given Phaedra? Here, let me go ahead and drop the link for my peoples that wants to come up. I want to hear. Okay, so I want y'all to tell me that look that was Phaedra's look, right? The only thing is Phaedra's was like short sleeves, Drew's was long sleeve. That's really the only difference that I see in the dress. But the hair is the same. The hair is the same. That was just, what I saw, what I recognized, and whatever. Like I said, Drew showed up as Phaedra. Sheree gave Tyrone the deuces. Now, one thing I can say about Sheree, she gave that man the deuces. It was like, you didn't took me through all this and you tried to embarrass me on camera. And when he finally came to that fashion show and honey, she did her big one, baby, she gave him the deuces. And it was, if Watch Me Work was a person, she definitely got that award on on that fashion show. And that's just that on that. All right, hello, Evolution 101. Welcome to the show, my love.
Hey, sister. Happy
How are you?
holiday.
Happy happy holiday.
Happy holiday.
It's
How you doing,
11:11. Let's make
girl?
a wish. It's 11:11. That's how I'm doing. Who's what?
Okay, KK. Did you get some barbecue, sweetie? Barbecue?
Barbecue. Yes. No,
Okay.
actually, we had stir fry, so we had like steak and rice and the peas and all that good stuff. It was like I don't want to do nothing to where I'm having clean up and doing all that. We're gonna do something easy. So, honey, did it up. He did his number. Okay,
I love it.
he did a
Sometimes you
big one,
gotta switch
honey.
it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. So, listen, how are you? How are you feeling? And what's the tea on the RHOA in your opinion?
Woo. Child, where do I start? Where do I start? Well, the girls are giving Ray hell with saying that her shit is on Sheen. She done bought some shit from Sheen and then got her label printed on it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the
I saw
update.
that.
Yeah, that's the update. And I don't put it past her. Like I said before, honey, she's very flagrant. You know what I'm saying? And these girls live for a peach. They live for
Yeah.
it. It's a good income. I mean, it is what it is, I guess, right?
Yeah, I was thinking, she had to do what she had to do. So now she's able to, pay off the people that she may owe allegedly, and really finance that line. Now she has the coin. The
But honey,
show has aired.
the site is not up, honey. No coin is being received. And she's got a short timeline, honey. We live in the very microwave era. So if it's not in our face, we're over it. If she doesn't get this shit up in like the next day or two, honey, people will forget about it. Everybody moves on. That's just the era that we're in. It's like we're in the move on era. It's like, okay, that's some tea. All right, next. Yeah, click on it, honey. She's giving a real apology about not being able to give it.
All right, here we go. Let me go ahead and share the screen.
Share it.
All right. She by Sheree. Dear fans, due to the overwhelming interest in She by Sheree, the influx of love is crashing the website. But please understand it's being worked on, so continue to check back in within the next 24 hours. We are working to get this quickly resolved. We wish to serve you soon. Thank you for your interest. Thanks to the customers whom we were able to serve so far tonight.
Girl, you didn't serve
All right.
nobody. She didn't serve nobody but Tyrone that night, honey, with some good head.
You
Let's
think
keep
that's
it
what it
real.
was?
Tyrone was looking good. She rode that like a rodeo, honey, and I ain't mad at her, honey. Tyrone was
Listen,
Tyrone was definitely fully wang, but honey, in the bedroom, I'm sure he had a lot to get out. And so did she, honey. And I'm not mad at it. Because I would have gave it too.
Yes. What about Bob coming to the show? What about
That
Bob?
was a that was a stunt. That was a stunt. Everybody on that guest list was a stunt. It was very media driven. It was very, ooh, ha ha. Girl, you ain't talked to Dwight since Dwight let you have it, girl. You sent him an invitation. Look, girl, Dwight was looking. Dwight hadn't even had eyes on her for like 10 plus years, honey. When he came in there, he didn't know what he was walking into. That's not a true friend. That's not a true friend, honey. That was very. She's a good producer. She knows she's an OG. She knows what they want. They whisper something in Sheree's ear, and she's going to deliver. She's gonna deliver. She knows what it is. She knows what it is. They say, girl, get it together. Like, you want to be on next season? You want to keep them lights on in Chateau? Let's do it, honey. And when I
Uh-huh.
tell you she went to work, she went to work. Going in there, crying on the girl's shoulder. You got 5 pieces. Girl, what is good? What is
Yeah.
good, honey? What is good? Coming up in there with a top bun. Girl, you know what you giving. What is going on? But I liked it's still not giving me fabulous. Like TV is a luxury. It's entertainment. It's a what they call a guilty pleasure.
Hmm.
And like the girls need to step it all the way up. Girl, go rent a house, a fully furnished house. Sonya. I love you, Sonya. But you should have just rented a fully furnished house. You're only taping for a X amount of months. And then you're getting 6 figures. And then maybe she might have even got 7 figures, like right on the dot. It's like, girl, give me luxury. Give me something to punch my walls about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not giving what it needs to give. Candy, that was a beautiful color on her. Girl, that was a $20 dress. I'm from Los Angeles, honey. The garment
Yeah.
district area. That was a $20 to $15 dress. And it probably was from her little store tags. Just keeping it all the way a G. That was a
No,
very
let's
hmm,
speaking of keeping it a G. In this picture, Sheree should have kept it a G
honey.
because it was
She
like
tried on so many wigs.
she was trying to
Huh?
huh?
No, go ahead.
Oh
What was
no,
that?
I was saying in this scene right here, this is when Lyrone came had come to the fashion show, and Sheree is telling her mom, "This is Tyrone." Her mama saying, "Who?" And then she's like, "Prison Bay."
I was so mad at
That's
that.
when she should have kept it.
I was so mad at that. But let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Ray is a sneaky undercover broad. She's just that type of broad. When your daughter is talking about who is that, that was disrespectful. It was hurtful. It was so many fulls. It wasn't even funny. It was just like, and then
Hmm.
Sheree, like, girl, so we did all these wigs and looks. She came in with a top bun, then she changed into that wig, and then we settled on a side ponytail with a bunch of tracks in it. Girl, what are you giving? What are you
I don't
giving?
know, but it seems like the girls are running to the Botox doctor. I mean,
It's
not the
tight.
Botox, but the filler doctor.
Sheree's face is tight. When I tell you it's tight, it's about, and Sheree has had work done. Let's talk about it. Let's unpack that. Sheree, you've had work done. Your body was not giving that. It wasn't giving that.
Mm-mm.
It wasn't giving that, honey. I don't think she's had like a tummy tuck, but she's definitely had lipo. And let's stop beating up Drew. Like, y'all bitches is getting on that table like Thanksgiving dinner. Everybody has gotten on that table. You got Kenya that was called out seasons ago. That doctor has seen all type of breasts. He said, "Bitch, you got implants." And she said, "No, natural." How you gonna go against that man? That man was telling the
Exactly.
truth. He wasn't trying to be funny. She know natural, booty all whacked out. I love this picture. And you know what? Marlo, she gave it. She gave it with that cat suit. Kasuya.
Hmm.
That's what I call her. Kasuya. She came with that cat suit. It was designer. It was
She did.
everything. My girl Sonia, she gave real it she passed it off because of how thin and model-less she is. But that dress could have been a real tragedy. It was questionable, but she's so thin and so lean that she made it work. It looked amazing on her. Drew was giving me Faith Evans, like real bad Faith Evans. Like it was soon as it was real, it was dreadful. It was dreadful. It's like, girl, you at a fashion show. Like, give me fashions. That's what I'm saying. Like these girls are just taking it off the rack, but not a good rack. You know, they swear they got stylists, they swear they got a glam squad, but it's not adding up. Is the glam squad doing it for free? Yeah, Sheree gave us all those looks and then came out with a side pony in a real deconstructed jumpsuit slash skirt. And it was like, girl, for real. People standing up and clapping during the yeah.
Check this
It was
out. Listen, was Marlo sponsors at her show at the situation?
what at the Sheba Sheree one?
Yeah, I'm thinking like, who are these two guys? Like the guys that are in the orange and the black. I didn't really catch their face. Is
That
my
might be
is
that
my
might
sister?
be family, honey. That might
Yeah,
be family because they don't look like money.
is my system jumping? Do you see anything like flashing?
I don't see nothing flat. Well, I just did since you said something. Yeah, I do see something flashing, but it ain't
Okay,
flashing.
okay, not really sure what the hell is going on, but
Yeah,
okay, so then
like
we'll move
Marlo
on to.
served, Kenya, like I said, that dress is $20 on Shein. Um, and which I ain't mad at it. Like girl, throw it on. But let's not get carried away. I'm sure she paired it up. That $20 dress. I'm sure she paired it up with some maybe $1,000 shoes. I didn't
Yeah,
really get a zoom on it. But girls are giving high to low, and I'm not mad at it. It's a struggle out here, and if you got body, you might as well go body con. And body con ain't going nothing over $40. I mean, it's just real talk. A tight, just whatever dress, it ain't going over $40. And she she's known for ordering online, which I'm not mad at. She has a daughter. I get it. It's an economical situation, but yeah, just give me the fabulous. Like that dress Candy had on was disrespectful. I'm like, Candy, come on now. This is literally a $20 dress. And like I said, give
exactly.
with her dress, she's thin, she's giving model. That's the only reason why Sonya pulled that off.
But
Cause
listen, Sonya actually, like, was Sonya really supposed to wear that color? Because this is the same color scheme that's going for their reunion looks.
she actually should have wore that at the reunion, like just true tea, because I didn't
Exactly.
that that reunion dress. That reunion dress was a hot ass mess. It was like, and then I didn't like the bob. She looks good with just hair, like Dinah
Yeah.
Ross. She don't do well with that bob. It just is, or maybe I haven't seen the right bob, because like sometimes people can give you a bob, but they don't really know how to cut it and layer it, and just have it bouncing and behaving. And I didn't like that bob on her. And what's her name? Marlo's dress for the reunion was actually amazing when you saw the right angles. Oh yeah, there go Apollo. Apollo is everything. I think he's a good look. I think
Yeah,
Apollo is a good look. You know,
he's been
he's
in jail. He know how to get
given,
money.
so I think he's open to options. It might not be a full blown option, but I think he's open to options. Like he's kind of fluid, but yeah, and then it's deep too because that lady that he's been with, she's really held him down, and I don't know what she does for a living, but he has not married her yet, and she's
No,
still she's still girlfriend.
I'm gonna give you some tea. So, he used to mess with a family friend, um, while he was with Phaedra. That's the
Oh,
tea. And she was an entertainer at one point. Why are my pictures jumping? Okay, here we go. If y'all can stay still, let me bring you up. Okay. So hopefully the photos are working now. Okay, let's see.
I love him.
Okay, so this is more of them when they were at the show. When they were like, getting hors d'oeuvres, getting full, getting tipsy, all that good stuff. Here, let me see if I find another one. Let's see. Okay, here is Bob. Bob showed up. Everybody was surprised to see him.
Honey, he came in there with that goofy blazer. Honey, he was ready for his. Oh, he was ready, honey.
Sheree was like, "Come on, it's the photo shoot. We need you out here. We need you out here. Tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend, baby."
She called the right people. Like I
Mm-hmm.
said, the OG. She knows what they want. They wanted her to be the bone collector. That bitch said, I sign up fully. I'll deliver all kind of bones. That bitch was Uber driving bones. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I mean, she was driving them, baby. You can't take that away from her. But listen, I was looking at Marlo's hair. I said it looked like she went shopping at Nini's collection because that looks like a number that Nini has.
Oh yeah, very much so.
Which is no shade. I actually love that hair when it really popped off. It really I love the curls. Love that deep part. And Marlo, she's a curvy girl. She got her little rump back there.
Oh yeah, she does. Honey. She's yeah, I think if she didn't have the height, she would be like considered a big girl. But she's damn near 6 foot.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Absolutely.
they can't take it away from her. She gives it, honey. She gave it. She gave it that night, and people were living for it. The other girls, not so much. They had to do a personality situation.
Yeah. To see if they would fit. Sheree is definitely that girl. She knows how to put on a show. And what it drew me back to was that party when Kim was on the list. Nene said,
She shut that shit down. That was
down.
yes, honey. You are not on the list. You are not the father.
And sent all girl packing. She says, Oh, Sheree knew what she was doing. Sheree knew exactly what she was doing.
that that bitch showed you how you sometimes can't come through.
Exactly. Like, girl, you thought you was eating it, girl. She showed us how to chew it on somebody's time.
Mm. Honey, you were not on the list. Remember, Nene just knew she was. She said, "Look at it again, honey." That man didn't even have to look at it again. He said, "Girl, you are not on this list. You're not
This
on."
was
Mm, 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 mm.
like it was personally delivered to him.
I don't think Nene ever fully recovered from that. That was a blow for her. She came for blood after that. She never really forgave her, even though they had a scene, quote unquote, where they forgave each other. Honey, it
Hmm.
was forgiven. It was never forgiven. Cause she was Queen Bee. And then how you gonna keep the queen out of the whole out of a whole party? You know?
Hmm.
It was deep. It was deep. But that was good television.
That really was the good old days.
And when you think about Tyrone, we've been talking about Tyrone since like season, what was that, season 2 or season 3? Remember when they got into it at that restaurant? They
At the
were fighting
restaurant.
Tyrone.
Yes, honey. Tyrone is that dude, and I can only imagine what he has to offer. I mean, the dude is like what 6'5", 6'4". I mean,
Right.
he's been in there pumping irons. I mean, girl, and he still and it still work.
He gave everybody the business. I
Hmm.
everybody the business, I feel. He gave everybody, but he gave Sheree something to think about. He gave Nene something to think about. And he probably gave somebody else something to think about. Real talk.
It made me feel like Marlo was, she was super hyped up and excited to see him. She was definitely excited. So what do you think about her so her nephews are back? Do you think that she's gonna come back next season?
Yeah, she carried this season, honey. We talked about them kids not being with her for like 5 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Andy is a hoe, which I don't even know. I don't know that just kind of weirds me out that Candy took that so personally. You have caught this woman, I would say, over the past 10 years that Marla been on the show. Candy has probably called her an escort or a hoe in some type of way, probably about 40 to 50 times. And then Kenya probably like over 100 times. And
Mm-hmm.
then the rest of the girls, at least 20 to 30. I mean, that's just real facts. Marla has been called out of her name so many times. And you mean to tell me one episode where she speak your truth, you going to have a vengeance towards her? They have no receipts on Marlo. I have not seen any receipts on Marlo for her to be an escort, for her to be a hoe. I have never seen it. They have never presented anything. Present it so I can believe it. One episode she called Candy out because people in the industry have called Candy a hoe. She didn't have no child. Riley wasn't born yet. They said she was putting that thing on everybody. And why not? You're in the industry. You're getting the cream of the crop. Why not? You're young. You ain't got no kids. You was out there
Hmm.
wild. Just speak your truth. It is what it is. It's not. It's nothing, honey. You won. You ain't
Yeah,
gotta you don't have to
we know you're
struggle.
not doing it now. We
Right.
hold on. I don't. Well, no, because I mean, when you think about Candy, okay, they have the toy line and things like that, and the dungeon. I'm like, maybe, maybe, maybe she had some dungeon parties back in the day, and they caught up with her.
When you live your truth, there's nothing anybody can expose you about. When you own it, there's nothing anybody can, because you owned it. People are like, oh yeah, she already said that. And with Candy, it's like, I get it, you got kids and stuff, but it's like, bitch, be real. Be fucking real. You did it. Just own it. People respect when you own it. People hate you when you don't own it. When they find out elsewhere that you was like faking the funk, that's when the real disrespect happens. And it's just like, it is what it is. Kenya, come on now. You was in LA. You was in all them videos. You fucked. You fucked. You did. It's okay. Some of the best fucked. It
Hmm.
happens. It happens. This is life. You're supposed to experience different things. You're supposed to, you know, see what you're into, see what you're not into. It's experimental. Every day we grow and we change. We get exposed to different things that changes our perspective. You was out there getting what you was getting. All them guests, let me tell you something. Los Angeles, very expensive. Very expensive. Not only do you have to deal with the rent and like just astronomical like things, but like even going out to eat is expensive as fuck. It just
Hmm.
is. So it's like you have not given us no big budget movie. Kenya, when you go on her IDBM, whatever that shit is, that actors page,
Uh-huh.
guest starring, 2 lines, maybe 3 tops. And I'm just being all the way a G. This girl has never served anything. She served nothing but eye candy. Coming in saying something slick. You know, remember the old sitcoms? You know, it was a lot of laugh tracks and claps and stuff. You know, she would come in as the beautiful girlfriend. That's what she gave.
Yeah.
She never. I When I think of Kenya Moore, I don't think of like Angela Bassett with a tear coming down my face. Like that bitch served that scene. Come on now, let's be real.
Yeah, let's be real.
Let's be real. She has never given that. She ain't no Jada. She ain't no Vivica. She's not. She's just not. So it's like you were out there fucking. Just real talk. You were out there fucking. And in LA, if you fucking, you fucking. Ain't nobody giving you no. They already know what it is. Especially the ones that are trying to make it. It's like,
Yeah. This is pretty much like you better do it before I do. Is
right.
that type of world? Wow.
It's it's very hardcore. I had a friend that moved from Cincinnati. I didn't know her in Cincinnati, but she was from Cincinnati and she wanted to be an actress. And she's been in a lot of stuff. She's been in a lot of stuff. But when I tell you, I remember it was a movie, and I'm not gonna say it because, then that, draws all kind of controversy or whatever. But there was a movie. There was a movie that was being casted. And I drove her there. And honey, I saw some elite actresses in booty shorts and a tank top with no bra. Motherfuckers was up in there trying to get that role, honey. And she had to makeshift a outfit in my car when she saw that line because it wasn't at no studio. This motherfucker was bold enough. The director was bold enough to have this casting at his house. So shit was going down. I will never forget that because we drove up the Hollywood Hills, and I had a stick shift, honey.
Mm.
And I'll never forget that because I was mad at her. I said, "Girl, you got me up in here. I had just got a stick shift. I didn't really know how to drive that car for real." And that girl had me going up in the hills, and that's scary for somebody that just learned a stick shift. But
Yeah.
honey, went up in there, and when I saw these two actresses that I thought were above that situation of selling it like that, I said, "Girl, you better cut that. You better give it because these girls are in line." When I tell you, it was body paint. That's how tight them clothes were. People were out there trying to get it, and I just say that to where it's like, Kenya, It just is what it is. Marlo was not veering from the truth. She wasn't. You were in a bunch of rap videos, and I'm not saying she fucked everybody, but she fucked
Uh-huh.
some.
Well, she points out, the big pimping video, and we already know Kareen Steffens was in that video, right?
Corinne
Uh-huh.
up in there. But she owned it. You can't take none. You can't call her out. You can't call her across the street. Corinne Stephens owns it.
Owns it. Hmm.
She owns it. She's like, look, I did the D. My head was in between thighs. Like she did it. She showed up topless. She showed up with no panties. It is what it is.
Hmm.
It's the industry. I hate the way that, women are depicted. I come from a village of women. I have a lot of friends that are women. I hate that certain circumstances happen for women, especially in Hollywood. But if you if you're willing to capitalize and know how to maneuver, and that's not everybody's story. Some people, they do let you be. They're like, okay, she not on that, but I still, she got talent. But sometimes when you don't lack the whole image, sometimes you got to put your legs up. Like, I'm just keeping it all the way real. This is
Oh,
just,
wow.
Los Angeles. It just is what it is. And at the end of the day, that is a city where girls are getting paid. They're getting paid. They're getting paid for dates. They're getting paid to do this. I've seen it. It's guap. They're getting paid thousands. A lot of men want to take you to Vegas for the weekend. I don't know why that's a thing in LA, but they do that. And they will pay. You will come back with your rent and some. You'll come back and you will be able to get a Chanel bag. You will be able to send mom some money because you're from Minnesota. You'll be able to do that.
Oh, wow.
Send your mama $1,000. Thank you, mama. Yeah, it's some life changing stuff. You got to realize these men, they're very successful. They have the money. They have the money. They'll do it. They'll do it for you. And I truly believe that's how Kenya was surviving. That's how Lisa Ray was surviving. I've been around Lisa Ray. Girl, there was nothing coming in. There was nothing coming in, honey. Whatever that show she was on, they weren't. There was a season for those residuals. Those residuals were done, honey. When the residuals were
Blood,
done,
Sweat, Heels.
you said what?
Was it Blood, Sweat, and Heels?
It was blood, sweat, and heels,
Yeah.
and some gagging. There was some gagging involved, honey. Um, the girl that played Tony Childs, not on TV. Those residuals, I used to have the tea on the residuals, how they were going down and down. Every year they go down and down. The only person that continues to have legitimate residuals is Fresh Prince from Bel Air, honey.
Oh,
Fresh
wow.
Prince from Bel Air. People talked about it that in the industry all the time because those checks were beautiful. They would go to South Africa. They would lease something to Australia. People love that show. And before that, it was the Cosby Show. Those were the two most lucrative residual. That's why you don't see those kids wanting for nothing.
None.
Look at that cast. Karen Parson. Oh my gosh. When my friend worked at Barney's, she was dropping like she was on a hit TV show. She would go up in there and buy this and buy that, and people were gagging. But it was because of those residual checks. Will Smith set up such a deal for that cast. It's absolutely ridiculous. Him and Benny Medina, honey, they went in on that. To lease that, to have that in your country, that's money. That's money. Tatiana Ali does not have to work a day in her life. She's so choosy. She's just living her life, honey. Those checks come in and they're amazing. They're amazing. And it's just real tea. It's just real tea. But the girls out there, they're doing what they gotta do. Your rent is 25 to maybe 3,500.
What do you
To,
think Sheree's doing?
huh?
What do you think Sheree's doing? Because that is a big house.
Africans. Africans. Africans.
Oh.
That's big out there. I lived in Atlanta for a year. The Africans were, honey, they were swiping those cards, honey. They were coming up with cash. They were buying property. They were they were doing it. But who's not gonna rock with that? Who's not gonna rock with that? Why would you want to enter the club and be at the bottom? Why wouldn't you want to be VIP smoking hookah? People throwing money. They come over here and they show out. Kenya, Portia, Sheree, um, Portia's friend before she got married.
Shamia. Shamia.
African, Shamia,
Mhm.
African, Africans, Africans. Portia really clown with them. That girl dipped over there. She got that passport, and there was nothing stopping her.
It was nothing.
It was nothing. See, the Atlanta girls go to Africa. The LA girls go to Dubai. Dubai can change your life, honey. You go out there for a month. It's something about that American blood, honey. That American blood, and especially that black American blood. They love black girls over there. That's such a novelty for them over there. Hazel. I knew Hazel E. I knew Hazel E. She was very random. She was a publicist. I remember when she was a publicist for Megan Good and Lamaya Good and just a couple of other flunkies. I remember her. I've been around her. I mean, that girl was going to Dubai. She wasn't the prettiest girl, but she was going over there and she was getting the bag. She would disappear for about 3 to 4 months, and she would come back a whole nother woman.
Mm.
And then she had the leverage to throw money in certain pots, and people respected her for that. Blue Contrail. Blue Contrail. I remember when my friend owned this clothing
Hey,
store.
ladies.
Yes. I remember when my friend owned this clothing store off of Melrose, and I remember she came up in there and she wanted outfits to go to Dubai. But see, I didn't really know what that was giving. It just sounds so far fetched. But I'm
Yeah.
just talking about like the early days where, because you have to really fish for tea then. Everything is on the internet now. But it's like, I didn't know. I was like, Dubai, what is she going over there to do? And then it was like, okay, she's an artist, so maybe she's going out there to perform. She did have a couple of hits. She had like 2 good hits. But honey, those girls were going over there and they were getting the bag, honey. And they weren't looking they weren't looking back. I remember uh not Golden Brooks, but the girl that played Tony Childs, honey. I remember when she had to take her butt over to Dubai. And when she came back, she bought this sick 2-seater BMW. It was like she had changed her whole life. I remember seeing her on the freeway. Like, I hunked at her and she was like, honey, yeah, she was like, I'm up. Because she wasn't booking anything after Girlfriends. She wasn't booking anything. And those girls want to live a certain type of lifestyle. I'll never forget it.
Yes.
I'll never,
Wilma Lee Jones.
yes. I'll never forget it. I saw her on the freeway. We were in traffic, and I honked at her because I had a friend in the car, and before it was like maybe a year since I had seen her. They said she was doing bad because I ain't gonna say where she lived. I don't know where she lives now, but she was living in a very, very good neighborhood. And they said that she was doing bad. They said that it wasn't adding up. She took her butt over to Dubai. And honey, I mean, they're running the episodes over there. So it's like she is the Diana Ross. She is, she's of the moment right there. They're running the episodes over there. Those countries, they get it later. So her going over there and being able to serve who she needs to serve, it is what it is. They're throwing money. It's oh shit, she's somebody, and
There
then
she go.
African American girls or girls that look of African descent, they're exotic over there because there's a certain woman over there. But then you throw another woman in the mix, it's like, oh well, I want to try this.
Mm.
So
So,
it gets to that point, and then Marlo has definitely dealt with some Africans too. Marlo has definitely dealt with some Africans, and um what I like about Marlo was when she had access to the credit card, she built herself up. She bought a
yeah,
bunch of Chanel bags. She bought a bunch of stuff. She bought a bunch of stuff that's timeless. Because, when you get timeless things, there's trendy things and there's timeless things. A Chanel bag is not going to go out of style. A
right.
Marc, a Marc Jacobs bag will go out of style. It'll be vintage. It'll be, oh, okay, what is she trying to pull? Maybe she's bohemian. You know what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
it's like when she had access to that credit card, whoever that man was, honey, she ran it. She ran it. She did like the Dolce and Gabbana pieces that will never go out of style. She did the Chanel pieces that will never go out of style. She did, and then Kamora Lee Simmons, she gave that too. Her
Mm-hmm.
collection of bags and stuff like that. You can't touch that. You can't touch that. She did it the right way. And then it's like Russell is not there and she's good. She don't need to go in any store. She's
Yeah.
good, you know? So I respect the girls, but the Atlanta girls are definitely doing the Africans and
Wow.
they're definitely winning. And why not? Those girls are on TV. Like you have to realize Atlanta is big, but it's small. So they are the cream of the crop out there. So like an African C Marlowe, that's like seeing Naomi Campbell.
Mm-hmm.
Just
That's
real talk. In little ass Atlanta, because there's a lot of people in Atlanta, but it's a cluster of people. And then you have like all these people that want to achieve the American dream. Do I want to get in bed with the girl from Forever 21 or do I want to get in bed with the girl from Bravo?
right. Wow. What a choice. And speaking of choice, these were the so as the season was wrapping up, they give their picture and then they give a rundown. So Sheree's was Sheree no longer calls Tyrone. Think you better call. But she's got a new boo. The VPL has become a VJL, visible jogger line. Because She by Sheree is finally available for purchase. All right. Kenya and Brooklyn spent their summer twirling around Europe. Unfortunately, her Mary Kay wig couldn't travel internationally. Drew continues to work on her fitness in her marriage. Ralph's new baby. His book is due any day now. Drew still hasn't read it. Marlo will soon break ground on the Hamptons 2.0. Her journey to self improvement continues and her edges continue to flourish. Sanya removed her IUD and is actively trying for baby number Deuce. She hasn't uninvited anyone from anything lately. but don't try her. Bup, bup, bup.
Right. I didn't like that edges. I didn't like, and then that's the whole thing with like Andy and that whole kind of
Racist. Like,
racist and kind of white supremacy and like white privilege. Don't do that because you don't do that to nobody else. When I see Beverly Hills rap, that it ain't gonna be corny like that. Stop playing these black women like that. And then at the end of the day, a lot of people review the Real Housewives of Atlanta. No black woman should be fired. Bravo is a $1 billion company, honey. Don't fire none. As a matter of fact, give everybody a motherfucking raise.
yeah, and ask some people.
Raise. No black woman should be fired. Period. Unless they want to leave willingly or voluntarily. Bravo got too much money for anybody to be fucking fired. Fuck that shit. Y'all riding on the backs of these black women that's giving y'all ratings, that's giving y'all the tea, that's giving y'all lingo, that's giving y'all everything. No black woman should be fired. Period. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a damn if Marlo is burning black candles. Don't fire her ass. They got it. They got it. That's just like suing TJ Maxx or Ross or Macy's. They got it. If they did you wrong, sue them motherfuckers. They got it, honey. They got it in the pocket. Nobody, nobody should be motherfucking fired. Nobody. Bring everybody back that want to come back. Period. Bravo has it, honey. They have the bag. They've had the bag. And then people like, Nene getting 2 point something $1 million. What they making off the show ain't nothing.
Mhm.
You gotta realize those commercials, the commercials, like all of those entities, those people pay. I've worked in marketing. A commercial running, they could pay up to $5 to $6 million just to run during a certain show. I mean, they've been doing that, and in like the YouTube world is starting to see that because of their content, seeing how people like pay to be sponsors and stuff like that. Honey, they've been doing that for years, not years, decades. What am I talking about? Decades. Crest, Taco Bell, everybody that you see, they are invested in that show, and they're paying like they weigh. So one commercial could be paying the whole cast and they showing at least 20 commercials. So who's winning? The girls or the network? We get into, oh my gosh, Candy's making 1.7 a year. That ain't shit. That ain't shit. You got a show like Living Single with top ratings back in the day. They making 35,000, and it sound big to us. 35,000 an episode. Then you got Friends that every motherfucker on there is making 1 million an episode. What's the balance? They were making 1 million an episode.
Yeah.
That just shows you how much these networks are bringing in. It was like, what about 5 or 6 or 7 of them?
hmm
And
But
they're making
look at the other franchises. Like, they don't have a problem with paying those white women that
hell
Beverly
no.
Hills. You just said Beverly Hills, and you just like Beverly Hills is expensive out there. So if they have a Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, it was pretty much the Real Housewives of Atlanta popped that franchise off.
It's girls on Atlanta that ain't touching the girls on Real
Beverly.
Housewives of Beverly Hills. And Beverly Hills came out hella years after. Kyle was making like more than Nene. Quiet as it's kept. They kept it very quiet. And I'm not a Nene fan, but business is business. Dorit is probably shitting on everybody, and she ain't even got a storyline. She's shitting on Kenya. She's shitting on everybody. She shitting on Candy. Erica Jane is making hella money. She's in the millions, and she ain't even an original housewife, honey. And we
See,
got Drew and all these other girls scraping, honey, scoundering the wall, honey.
it's definitely it's definitely you made some really good points as far as like, no no black woman should be fired. I agree with that. And I agree with their pay needs to go up. They are sharing their lives, and these people that watch, they look at they this is comedy for them. And I know it's reality TV, but it's like, come on, y'all have to we got to do better. We've got to do better.
We have got to do better, and we got to own our shit. We got to know our worth. We got
Yes,
to know our worth. Because if you don't know your worth, they're going to tell you what your worth is. Just real talk. I remember I had a friend that was working for Abercrombie in New York off of Fifth Ave. I guess they had a flagship store or whatever. And I remember I was talking to him, and he was telling me, this was a long time ago, but he was telling me that they were like offering him $20 an hour. And he told me, he was like, I'm worth more than that. I'm like at least $25 to $30 an hour. And they had a dialogue. They went back and forth. And he won. He won in that. And I remember that just inspiring me, because I was like, you know what? I'm going to go in there and negotiate, because, somebody tell me that I'm worth 17. What if I feel like I'm worth 24?
yeah.
It's like, I know me. I have experience. People try to like tell you how much experience you got. It's like, bitch, you don't know how much experience I got.
Hmm.
You don't know what I've done. You don't know how I've struggled. You don't know how I've pulled myself up. And I gave it, and I never looked back. That has been my tactic in every single situation financially that I've ever been in. It was like, let's have a conversation. Let's have a
Hmm.
conversation, because that ain't it. And I will tell you what I bring to the table. I will tell you. I know what I bring to I live it, and the Atlanta girls, they bring in the biggest revenue, because when black people support you, they support you.
That's what I'm saying.
People, let me say this on your platform, because this is just some real tea. The black dollar is strong. For stop stop with the media trying to tell you that our dollar is not strong. We are the biggest consumers. If we take a month out from not shopping the luxury brands, the commercial brands, let me tell you something, this economy would die. It would die. We are the biggest consumers. We are up in Target. We are up in Walmart. We are up in Gucci. We are up in Louis Vuitton. We are up in Dior. Don't you ever think we're not. We save for it. We create a world around it. We like being fly. We like being on the new stuff. We are the hugest consumer. We are in the lines. Don't you ever think that we're not. We are. If we pull back from the table, honey, that table would crumble. The Jordans. Think about what we live for. The Jordans. Those a
Honey.
hundred, 250 a pop. The red bottoms. Those are black girls getting that. The Alexander McQueens, the Gucci, the Louis, the men and the women getting the belts, the bags. That's us. That's us saving up for it. That's that drug dealer you dealing with. You dropping 9,000 on a bag. That's us.
Mm-hmm. You
These
not telling no lies.
these white girls are sporting Target bags. They getting their purse from Target. They getting their purse from Target, honey. They getting fanny packs.
But
They're
we
getting
got something to prove.
hmm?
I said some of us, we feel like we have something to prove. Like you said, pretty
With the
much keeping up with the Joneses.
we do because we constantly have to put ourselves in the mindset that we're worthy. Whew, we do. We do. When I lived in LA, I had a certain look that got me respect. And I'm just being all the way a G. When I went in the supermarket, there's pavilions. There's a lot of supermarkets out there, but it's like Rouse and pavilions, and it just goes up and up. You got um Gleason's. You got like all these like high end like places. Rouse is just like a standard, but in my neighborhood, when I would dress down, nobody would help me. When I went in there, like after, having a meeting or, doing something in the industry where I'm like totally dressed up, stand in line and it would be somebody that would open their line to help me.
Oh
And it
wow.
was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking. It's like in LA, I could never wear an urban brand and get respect. I loved a lot of the stuff that Jay-Z came up with Rockaware. But that put me in a different bracket. I couldn't wear Rockaware. When I wore Rockaware, I was another nigga.
Mm.
I didn't get nothing. Nothing. But when I put on my theory pants and my theory shirt and my theory tie, honey, I was good to go.
At your service.
I was good to go. And when I demasculated myself, I couldn't be too masculine. I had to be for the girls. I won. When I did the girl and woo and he and this. When I did that in LA, I won. When I did the snaps and I did the twirl and I did the kiki, my income was amazing. My income was amazing. I wasn't a threat. I'm 6'3". I'm dark skinned. I have a bald head. I couldn't give that. When I gave the hee hee ha yeah, oh ah, I was those doors were opening, and I was dating a guy at the time that was a masseuse. He was a really big masseuse, had his own studio, and I remember when he told me that he said I can't come in here with. He looked amazing with the beard. I saw him with the beard. I was attracted to him with a beard. And then
Hmm.
I remember he shaved it. We went to Mexico, to Cabo, and I remember he had it shaved. He said it's not getting me any work. And I said, "What?" And he said, "I'm not getting anybody in here." And when he did that beautiful like baby face, that non-intimidating, not masculine, borderline fluid, feminine face. Oh my gosh. We were dining. to the highest level. we were helicopter. We were on helicopters going to Vegas. We didn't have to drive to Vegas. He was getting a helicopter for us. You have to learn, unfortunately, how to play the game, and it's very heartbreaking when you're an African American. There's just certain things you can't do. I was moving a friend, and I had the truck, but everybody was like, "All right, let's get in." It's three of us. We're gonna get pulled over. I told my friend, I said, "This cannot work." And he was like, "Why?" And I said, "Because there's three of us in the front. We look crazy. We're all three brown skinned. We're gonna get pulled over." He did not believe me. I said, "All right." I said, "I'm put $100 on it." 2 blocks up, we get pulled over. What are you doing? Open up the back of this. Y'all gotta be dealing drugs.
Mm.
Message, message. I can't even be with I can't even be with two of my good friends, helping him move, offering my services to lift the couch up 3 flights of stairs. I can't even do that without. I'm telling you, girl, when we turned that corner, we literally hit like 2 lights. It was like crazy. I said it, but I wasn't trying to manifest it.
Right. You just knew.
Girl, we got pulled over and get out. Los Angeles is get out, get on that curb. I want your coworkers, if they driving by to see you, you get out and you get on this curb. And we got the lights flashing. We about to make you sweat up in here. Get down, look down, don't look at me. We're looking through the car. We about to tear this whole car up. And guess what? We ain't gonna find nothing on you, but you're gonna have to clean all this up. I'm going in the glove compartment. I'm tearing up bags. I'm leaning stuff over. I don't give a damn. I'm letting you have it today. I'm letting you have it today. I don't know how many black men I seen on their knees, head behind their back. Just
Mm.
driving. Just driving. Just driving. That was a thing. It was nothing. It was like, damn. And then I would always say a prayer like, oh, I hope, everything turns out right. I'll be on my way to work. Woo, man, I hope everything turns out right.
Mm.
I remember it was a stroller in the street, baby crying. They didn't give a damn. That brother was literally walking his baby, probably trying to get food or, you know,
Yeah.
Afrocentric, not even like no pants sagging. He's giving the unk around his neck, pika shells, dreads, very peaceful vibe, honey. They got the baby out there crying, facing the street. Not turn where the baby can see the dad and calm down. Just baby, just you know. I mean,
Yeah.
this was every day. This is what it was giving. And then me pulling over, bringing out my phone. Okay, and then I look up and I'm on the streets with her. I'm trying to.
What?
I'm just in the wrong. What are you doing? Put your hands behind your back. Let me run your shit. So I'm just saying that to say, know your worth, because they gonna try to tell you what your worth is. Period.
Cool. Well, that was a great recap. That was definitely a great review. I'm ready for the reunion so we can really see how these girls are going to fire up. And I know that here soon, I think they get their letters either tonight or tomorrow. Today or tomorrow it was after Labor Day. That's when they'll start sending out letters. I'm curious to see if they are going to drop somebody. Who is it going to be? Um, they're saying that Candy's going to be dropped, but I don't know, child.
I think Candy is gonna. I think it would be a smart move. Like if I was a part of Candy's team, I would tell her to just drop off next season and then come back the next season. Just take a break. I think that it would change the dynamic. I would like to see Kenya on her own. Can you survive in this without Candy? Giving you the thumbs up in the background.
Hmm.
And what kind of relationship can you really build with these girls? Because Kenya gave me nothing. She gave me nothing. She gave me nothing. She gave me a scene of a board meeting looking slash lunch slash family. I don't know what that was because they didn't allow her to mouth anything. It was just people nodding their heads at a table. I don't know if it was we were picking tacos over lobster. I don't know what we were picking, but it didn't look very businesslike. And then it's like, okay, you gave me a speakerphone about a woman that I feel like you've already had a conversation with, and we already knew that you were going to be in the stores. It was just very. Mm,
Yeah, I think the vid um with the whole cousin 19 situation, it threw off a lot of things and even like some productions. And so I think like when we were finding out that she was in these stores, it's like we already knew because we've shopped, we've seen her on live talking about it. um but yeah, hopefully this new season or this next season is way better than this one. I really wish that they would take some notes from the beginning and start from the blueprint, the events, the fabulousness of the whole show. Those are just my opinions. Well, we have been here for 2 hours. I definitely love the engagement. I'm excited to see what's going to happen at the reunion. If you are a replay gang, thank you so much for watching. Definitely come back. Definitely stay tuned. But this was a great show. I mean, this got a lot of things out, got a lot of information, and my eyebrows are raising up because now Sheree, Sheree is she's an attractive woman, and I could see evolution's point of view when it comes to okay, she is seeing the Africans because it was one trip they had took overseas, and I think Sheree wasn't invited or somebody wasn't invited to the African's house. But yeah, catch me on the next live. I really appreciate you. Holla back. I'm your host, Queen Tulsa. This is the Goddess Tulsa Show. Have a great night, guys.
Hello and welcome. Thank you for tuning in to Goddess Tulsa After Dark. This is where you let your hair down. Get you a beverage. Prop your feet up or down. Now it's time